All right, everyone, welcome back to another episode of Cast Conversations. As always, I'm joined by the beautiful Phil.
Hey guys, how's it going? Today we're got the honor to be joined by our first international cast member, and her name is Paz. I'll let her introduce herself and tell us where you're from and what years you did the international program.
Hi, yeah. How are you guys?
Oh,
Good,
good,
good.
good. We're so happy to have you here.
Thanks. Hi, my name is Paz. I'm from Argentina. I did my international program actually 2 years. I did my first one on 2007 and my second one on 2011. So kind of a while ago, but
Yeah,
I loved it.
that's awesome. Yeah.
I worked during 2007 on the main entrance of Magic Kingdom. I was in all the area from like strollers and wheelchairs and lockers and everything you can find like right before the bridge, like before the tunnel.
hmm
And on my second time, I was basically at Emporium again at Magic Kingdom.
Oh, awesome.
Working
So,
merchandise in Emporium.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, merchandise.
that's
Okay.
awesome. So, how did you originally hear about the Disney College or the Disney International Program?
Yeah, the International College Program. Actually, I was on my university, and one of my friends came telling me that one of her friends spent all her summer during this lame program at Disney World. So I didn't find it that lame, and I wanted to find out more about it. So I got in contact with her friend, my friend's friend, and she told me all about it. She was as excited as I am, but
yeah.
not.
Excited enough to do it twice, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Exactly.
so mainly you said your friend got you interested in applying for the program.
Oh no, she was not interested. She was thinking that it was
So,
so
like through her, you
like,
got
like
interested
all
from it.
summer in like working. So
Gotcha. So was it difficult going so far away from your family?
not that much. It's not that long. Usually it's like around 4 months. It's not like college program that is longer.
Okay.
And you're like at the beginning, you're getting used to like your new roommates, your job, speaking in English all the time. That you don't like have time to miss that much. And then when you're starting to get like familiar with everything and happy with your job, it's time to go back. So it's kind of like a little like too short.
Yeah,
Oh,
that makes
gotcha,
sense.
gotcha.
Uh, what about the international program was most beneficial to you?
Well, when I did my first program, I was studying scenic arts. That's kind of everything that goes on stage, makeup, lighting, costume. So this
Oh,
like I mean Disney was Disney for me, literally.
Yeah,
yeah,
literally.
yeah.
When I did my first program, I was so amazed by the company, like how the company worked inside, that when I finished that degree, I started studying business to kind of like be part of a corporation now. So it literally changed like the way of my career or my degree.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
And
Yeah, I bet
completely,
Disney would be really happy to hear you say that too.
I hope so.
So, did you find that it was beneficial to be able to speak multiple language while working at Disney?
Yeah, sure. With all the tourists you have from all over the world,
hmm
like is a lot of help not only for me but for usually for the tourists. I
Yeah,
speak also a
exactly.
little bit of French, and we had some tourists from Canada.
Okay.
Okay.
That
Yeah.
that was so fun because I never get to speak in French. Like I never thought I would be able to speak in French here in the United States. Like that
Now,
was
is French your native language?
my native language is Spanish.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, you said you're from Argentina. Right,
Uh,
right, right.
yeah, but a lot of people don't know the native language of Argentina, so it's fine.
So, did you find yourself using French more than you use Spanish, or was it
No. We use a lot of Spanish.
a lot of Spanish?
We have a lot of people coming from all over, like Spain, Mexico, Argentina. Also, we have a lot of
Sure.
people from
Sure.
Argentina. So Spanish, I think, is the second language that people most speak in Walt Disney. Maybe
So,
Portuguese now that a lot of Brazilians are there,
Oh,
but
yeah.
Well, I was going to say that I think that Portuguese, when I was there, I found Portuguese to be the most common that I had problems finding another cast member for. So I would have to go find a Portuguese speaking cast member, and it was sort of hard for me to find one at times.
Yeah, because it's very close to Spanish, but not like not as much. We can understand, but it's hard to communicate. So you have to find someone that actually speaks in Portuguese, and that's not
Gotcha.
common.
And not a lot of people know this, which is actually kind of cool. I don't know if you've got to experience this at all, or Phil, if you have, but you can call a number on the Disney landline phones, and it will be an operator that translates for you.
Yeah, I used it. I used it, but with an Asian couple that I couldn't figure out what they
Oh,
wanted.
wow.
And
Yeah, it's super helpful.
super helpful, and it makes everything so much easier.
So do you have an example of a time that knowing multiple languages was like a game changer for you?
Game changer. Not really. I think a lot of cast members, even not speaking like the several languages, try to make themselves understand. Like everyone is trying so hard, the guests and the casts, that I don't know, drawing, making charades, whatever, people
Yeah.
to understand each other. That is not that common in any job, but I think in Disney you can like get by without even speaking the language.
Exactly. Just
That
by
makes
like
sense.
body
Or-
gestures.
Sorry, I didn't hear that.
Oh, just by like, yeah, by body gestures and all of that, by being able to communicate that way, like you were saying.
Yeah, I think like if you have the will, you make yourself understand, and if the other person
Exactly.
is trying to understand, they will. But it made it all much easier, like speaking the actual language.
Sure.
Of course.
So were all of your roommates international program members as well, or were they just from America or like that?
I had a lot of different roommates because when I arrived, I got placed with 7 Americans that were finishing their college program. So I
Oh,
was
wow.
the one international actually. And when they finished, they moved me to another apartment where we were all internationals. But I got to experience like both
Oh, that's
kind
cool.
of roommates. That was fun.
Any traits from like American lifestyle from that?
Kind of fancier, I would say, because most of people that come from other countries don't bring much stuff. So you could see that all the American rooms were with their own like comforters and amazing pillows and pictures from everywhere.
Oh, like
From
overpacking
abroad.
almost.
Yeah, that would make sense. Because you had to fly there, so
Yeah, and
you
you can
don't.
bring your comforter. That,
Right.
Yeah.
but
So,
that was
go
one
ahead.
of the difference. Everybody is really friendly, whether it's like international or American over there.
So did you say your international college program was for 4 months?
Yeah, each time. It's
So,
during the kind of the high season for the holidays, for Christmas and New Year's Eve is when usually the program is for, at least for South America.
oh, okay, interesting. Uh, were you able to extend for a longer period of time, or was your max 4 months?
No, the max was 4 months because you need a
Oh,
visa to work.
oh
So
yeah,
no chance to extend.
that's interesting.
Hmm. It's really
So
sad because a lot of people would do it. Like I said, when you're finishing your program, you're kind of getting the hang of the job. So it's kind of like a little ironic.
exactly. Like as soon as you're done, you know what you're doing.
Exactly. You get
Um,
back home.
so do you have any stories, possibly of a time you had to deal with a guest that was maybe angry, or there was a language barrier that you couldn't get past, or anything that stands out in your mind?
Oh yeah, I had to deal with a lot of angry guests. I worked at the first time I worked in the main entrance area, and there's where we rent the EZVs. You know,
Oh
airport.
yeah. I've heard a lot of things about those.
Yeah, in Magic Kingdom they ran out of the EZVs really, really like in the early morning. So around 11:30 or 12 at noon, we had no more EZVs. So we have to deal with a lot of people complaining because you have to give them like first come first served. You're
Right.
not checking the disability because you don't know if the disability is showing or not. So you just give it like to the first one that comes.
Right.
Sure.
So we had to deal with a lot of people complaining, yelling, with a good reason that they couldn't use these ECVs. And I realized that I got that kind of shift like 3 weeks in a row, like the shift in the moment where the ECVs were running out. And I got yelled a lot. So I went to talk to my manager and I asked him, like, why I'm always in this shift, why I'm always dealing with this. And they told me, like, oh, you're so patient and
Oh,
you're so nice with them that we
jeez.
thought, not a good idea. Please change, because I need to stop being that nice with all the
So it's the one time that being nice was a problem.
Yeah, of course.
That's the
Nice
best.
is always good.
So kind of on the opposite side, what has been, or can you tell us a story, possibly several, of a magic moment that you were able to make for someone while you're in your time there?
Yeah, from like on the top of my mind, I can think of one special one.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was working the Emporium during the night parade, and a guest came and asked me if I had the Mike Wazowski, the Monsters Inc. shirt.
Mm-hmm.
And I told her that we didn't carry that because that was only in Tomorrowland at that time. And she told me, she showed me her eye, and she showed me that she lost an eye.
Oh,
And
no.
Oh my.
her, it was kind of important to have that shirt, that she went to Tomorrowland and they told her that it was going to be at Emporium. So she didn't want to carry the shirt while she was walking in the park. So she said, okay, when I leave, I'll just grab it at Emporium. And she told me that she had brain surgery, and during her surgery, she lost the eye. When she woke up,
Oh
she
my
had
gosh.
no eye, so it was kind of devastating for her. And she told me that the first time that she could laugh about that was when she saw Monsters Inc. and she saw Mike Wazowski saying, like, Mike with one eye.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
And how old was she?
I think she was around like 35 or something like that.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of young.
Yeah, that's really
I
young.
had like goosebumps. So I went, and I don't know. The other thing is that during the parade, she couldn't walk because of the lights, like the changing of the lights and stuff. With one eye, she couldn't like get depth of field, so she couldn't walk to Tomorrowland. So I talked to my managers, because I think you know that you're not allowed to go in costume to another land.
Right.
Yeah.
Not allowed in like Magic Kingdom, at least.
Yeah.
And when I told her the story, she said that I should go to Tomorrowland like in my costume. She didn't care. I didn't care. So I ran to Tomorrowland, got the shirt, and of course gave it to her.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, we were all crying. I was
Oh,
crying.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
My manager was crying. Everyone was crying, but she was so happy.
See, moments like that, it's like that's why people go to Disney World, because of moments like that.
Exactly.
So that's amazing.
So did you find that it was easier to make moments like that working at the Emporium, or more working in the front entrance?
Definitely Emporium. In the
Yeah.
end, people don't want to stay much. They just want to go like through the entrance.
Right,
they don't
sure.
stay
They're ready to get
and-
in the park.
Exactly. But when they're at the Emporium, they're like ready to buy. So they
Mhm.
take their time and they check everything around. So it's easier to do magical moments. And the managers I had during that time really encourage us to do it. Like if you have to stop stocking the plush walls, you can go and help someone stop and play with kids. Like they didn't really care. Like if you see someone crying because they lost a balloon, you can go outside to the main street, grab a couple of balloons and give it to them. Like they really encourage that. So I did a lot. I gave a lot
That's
of free
nice.
stuff.
That's amazing. So really quick, we're going to throw it to a commercial break, and then we'll be right back with Pass to talk about more about her role here, and then some of our classic Disney questions. So we'll be right back.
Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Cast Conversations. Before we start today's episode, we just wanted to give our first sponsor, Anchor, a bit of thank you.
Yeah, and they've been a great podcast host for us this far, and it's just been really great to be able to work with them. And all the flexibility they have for us.
They make it very easy.
Very easy. And
to distribute the podcast,
Yeah.
record the podcast, edit. They have editing tools on the website, which is anchor.fm.
it makes it easier for us to just focus on what we want to do in our show.
Yeah.
And that way we don't have to worry about the other stuff.
As
outside of the
creators,
show.
it's a lot easier.
Mhm.
And then you can also download the app on your phone, which is free, and it's
Mm-hmm.
free to get started with no minimum listenership, where you'll start making money almost immediately.
Yeah, immediately. And it's really cool to be able to see that kind of just go up and up. And they have great analytics for your listenership, and you're able to see who's listening, not like individual people, but where from and on what devices and stuff like that.
Exactly.
So
So
it's really cool.
we hope you enjoyed today's episode, and have a good rest of your day.
Thank you to our friends over at Wicked Good for sponsoring today's episode. Wicked Good is a fragrance company that is brewed and bottled in the Windy City. They make a lot of natural scents as well as a lot of Disney-inspired scents. I know two of my personal favorites are the Flight of Passage scent as well as the Pirates of the Caribbean water scent. Phil, you want to talk a little bit about your favorite?
Yeah, my favorite's actually the Grand Floridian one. It's one of my favorite scents all around Disney parks. But we actually partnered with Wicked Good so that you can get 15% off just for listening to this episode today. Make sure to use the discount code CAST15 at your purchase, and we'll also throw the link down in the description of this episode as well. You can also find it on all of our social media pages as well if you want to check it out there.
Yeah, and a few great things about Wicked Good is all of their fragrances are handcrafted. They make one bottle at a time, and they also do samples if you want to try before you buy.
Yeah, so make sure to go check out Wicked Good.
Thank you, guys.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Gonna keep on going here with Paz, and Jeremy will start it off with another question.
So, when you were working at the Emporium, was there something that you always wanted to buy? Like you'd see it and you're like, oh, I want that, and you just never bought it for yourself or finally worked up to it?
I couldn't buy it. It was the huge Mickey Mouse.
Oh, yeah.
Because again, it's impossible to take that on a flight. Like
Right,
you have to buy
sure.
the Mickey Mouse seat for itself. So that is kind of like my only thing that I would buy now.
Yeah, when I was a PhotoPass photographer and I wanted that vest so bad. Obviously, it wasn't for sale, but I wanted that vest so bad.
I actually wanted my jacket that I had to wear for
yeah,
Mini
that was a
Golf.
nice jacket.
It was really nice, but couldn't.
So was it super magical for you being able to show up every day at work and see the Magic Kingdom?
Yes, it was definitely.
Would you say that's the best view for all the parks?
I
The
think
castle.
especially from the main street.
Hmm.
The
Yeah,
only thing is that during the holidays, I got to work a lot during the night. Like when the park was closed, we had to stock everything. So even if the park closed at 1 a.m., I had to stay until 6. And the park is completely empty at the time. And I could just wander in the main street and see the castle all light up with the music and everything, but completely empty. That was kind of like the biggest perk I had, I think.
Oh, that's such a
I
surreal
bet that.
moment.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Do you have a favorite holiday to work?
Probably during Christmas.
Yeah, everything's
It's
even
really
more
cool,
magical.
decorated. It's very neat.
Yeah, the fireworks are amazing also. The only thing is the people, like the amount of people that you have there is like crazy.
Overwhelming, yeah.
Yeah.
But still it's amazing. Everything is beautiful.
Did you ever pick up any shifts that weren't your normal locations, like the Emporium or
Oh,
Front Gate?
Everywhere. I worked
Ever?
everywhere. Good. I worked in attractions, food and beverage. I worked in the 4 parks. I worked at La Nuba, the Cirque du Soleil
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
that they had. I worked everywhere.
Wow.
amazing.
To see everything. So I worked everywhere. Down to Disney at that time, now Disney Springs.
Mhm.
Yeah, I wanted to try everything. And I would
So-
say, Sorry.
Oh no, sorry, I cut you off. But of the 4 parks, so obviously Magic Kingdom, I'm guessing is your favorite to work at. What is your second favorite park to work at?
that's hard. Probably Hollywood Studios.
The correct
Oh,
answer. Very
man.
good. That was my park, so you answered right. You must have done your research.
No, it's kind of like the less crowded, I think. So
Exactly, for a few more weeks.
for a few more weeks, that's right. That's correct. Then it's going to be like 7 times as crazy as the rest.
So speaking
Absolutely.
of crowds, was there a time of day that it was the most crowded in the gift shops and stores?
Yeah, during the night when the park is empty,
Oh, interesting.
Oh, so like when people are
everyone
leaving?
has to leave through the main street, and
Yeah.
and they want to buy like everything they saw during the day, so they have to go through Emporium, and that was when it was the most crowded. By
Well,
far.
thinking about it, that's when I did all my shopping at the end of the day.
Right. Yeah, that's when I, because you don't want to carry everything around throughout the whole day either. But
Right.
yeah. So what would you say is, if you know, what would be the most sold item at the Emporium?
Keychains and
Keychains.
Really?
magnets. Yeah, people take them like a lot in a bunch.
Yeah, that's like an easy gift you can give someone.
Yeah, and it's a small souvenir that you can take if you have to take for friends and family.
Right. Sure. So, did you enjoy being constantly busy with guest interaction?
Loved it. Yeah, I prefer to be over busy than to be bored.
Definitely. It makes time go faster and it
Of
makes the
course.
job more magical.
Exactly. Yeah.
Did
When you're
you? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, when you're busy, you don't look at the watch.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. So did you get to participate in pin trading while working at the Emporium?
Yeah, a lot. I actually got like 7 lanyards because I keep forgetting them. So
Oh my gosh.
it was when the pin trading kind of just started. So everyone, like the managers, were encouraging us to trade. So if we forgot
Hmm.
our lanyard, they would give us another one, and they would give us another one, and it was fun. I
What
loved it.
What was your favorite pin that you got?
Oh, I got a little Timothy mouse. You know the mouse from Dumbo.
Oh yeah.
A really tiny one that I
Oh, that's
put
so cool.
on my tie. You know, the Emporium uniform has a small tie.
Yes.
Yeah.
I got it from a guest. It was kind of like an vintage, really old and unique one. So I decided to keep that one. I traded for one of mine, and I used it there. I was allowed to use it there.
Oh, that's
Okay.
so cool.
Could you actually possibly explain for people that may not know how pin trading works, and like, did you have to buy your own pins or were they provided to you? That kind of stuff?
My experience with the pin trading, they would give me a lanyard. You can
Mhm.
choose to wear the one on your neck or on your, like, a little square on your belt, like on that area. And I would get 12 pins that I couldn't choose at the time. Like the first couple of pins that they give you, they just give it to you. You cannot choose. And you could also choose if you wanted to trade with everyone or just kids. So that would change the color of the lanyard. Like if you wanted just to trade with kids, you would choose the green one, and if you wanted to trade with everyone, just any other color.
Oh, I
That's
didn't
pretty
know
cool.
that about the colors.
No, I didn't either.
At least it was
That-
like that at that time.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, at least it was like that at that time. Then, after your shift, if you had like doubles, yeah, pins, I mean, you could go and ask. There's a little booth, at least in Magic Kingdom, where you can go and ask another cast member to change the pins that you have, and even if you want to have like a special collection or something, like you want, I don't know, cars, they would give you all your pins from cars, and that's it. Actually, that was
Oh, that's really
mostly
cool.
my experience with the pins.
So,
Yeah, that's
You know
good.
that-
when you were pin trading, did you find that there was a pin or a collection that people didn't really want?
Yeah, the Vinylmation pins.
Oh, okay.
Really, I
Oh.
got a lot of those because people wanted to get rid of.
That's
get
funny.
rid of. They mostly wanted like the characters, like Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck, and
Right. Like the
Mhm.
classics.
the classic, exactly.
So,
Weird
then going
collections.
So going back to merchandise, what was your favorite part of merchandise? Was it the guest interaction?
Yeah, I love that. And helping people to choose things. I had grandmothers buying like the entire outfit of all the princesses for their granddaughters and helping them like get the shoes and get the wand and get the crown, and it was amazing. I really loved it. You have a lot of freedom to do whatever you want. So that's great because if you're working in operations or other things, is you're more restrained by security and stuff. When you're working with merchandise, you have more freedom to do whatever you want, really.
Yeah, so kind of going off of that, if you could have chosen a specific job that you didn't try while you were there, which one would you have wanted to try or work at?
I always wanted to work at the Haunted Mansion. That's amazing.
That would be
Yeah,
so.
That would be awesome.
What would you name your bat?
Oh, that's a good question. I never thought about it.
That's one to think about for when you possibly work there in the future.
That's something to think about.
Exactly. So Haunted Mansion, and then are there any other rides that you really enjoyed that you'd possibly like to work at?
Let me think. I didn't think about this. I like soaring a lot. I think it's
Oh, that'd be a good one.
that'd be a good one. And I would like to try like PhotoPass. I would love to
PhotoPass is so
Oh.
much fun.
Yeah, I studied for a little bit of photography, and I think it's amazing. And you get to take a lot of awesome pictures with that background. That is amazing.
So we are going to move on to some of our classic questions for the interviews. So we'll go through, and I'll just ask you a few of these. If you don't have the answer, it's okay.
Feel free to take your time as well.
Yes, don't worry
don't
about it.
You don't have to spit it off real quick.
Okay, so Phil, you want to start the first one?
Yeah. What would be your top 3 favorite Disney movies?
Disney movies.
Mhm.
I love Wally. Love Wally. And I like very much Rapunzel, the Tangle. I mean, and if I have to go with one of the oldest, probably with Aladdin.
Okay, so how did you like the remake?
I didn't see it yet. I have a
Oh no.
old child. He just turned 1, and I have no one to leave it with to go to the movie. So I'm waiting for it. I'm like screaming. The last one I saw was Mary Poppins. So I'm a
Okay.
little, yeah, I have
Well-
to.
Sorry, go ahead.
I don't know. I mean, I have to catch up with all my movies.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, Haas, if it makes you feel better, I haven't seen Aladdin either.
Well, I'm not the only one then. That's good.
Do you have a favorite Disney character?
I love Nemo.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. I
It's
don't think
kind
we've had that yet.
but it's very similar the story to the lady that I told you. I stopped hearing from one ear one day. I woke up without my hearing from my right ear. So I kind of like feel that with his lucky thing is kind of like me. So it's kind of my lucky ear. I just use it for earrings. So
Oh, that's a cool story.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I kind of identify a little bit with it.
So, what would you say your favorite Disney princess is?
Rapunzel, probably. I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing possibly Rapunzel might make it on this list, but do you have 2 favorite Disney songs, 2 or 3?
2 or 3. No, my favorite of all times is probably Part of Your World.
Oh, that's a good one.
Definitely a good one.
Then also Be Our Guest. I like the classics.
You know, I
kind
think
of-
I think Beauty and the Beast and Little Mermaid have consistently made it on our songs list.
I would agree. Yeah.
That's a popular one.
yeah, I mean, the songs of those movies are amazing. That's why I think they're making them again. Like everyone of our age knows those songs by heart, and they are amazing. So
Exactly. Like you can't beat the perfection of those movies.
no,
Nope.
oh, they're doing them again.
Right.
They are attracting all the millennials.
Right. Hey,
Yep.
and we're willing, right?
Yeah, of
That's
course.
correct. So probably my favorite question to ask. What, in your opinion, was the ride with your favorite line queue?
The
So
line?
when you're waiting in line, it's kind of a weird question, but what was the one with the coolest stuff to look at or things like that? That was best themed.
Oh, I love Tower of Terror.
Yeah.
That one's really good. Once you get inside,
Everything like already is setting you in the mood for the drop. Like everything, the lights, the furniture, all the spider webs everywhere. I love that line. I hate it and I love it at the same time because I get so nervous, but I love it.
so leading into that, then, do you have a favorite ride?
Oh yeah, Rock and Roller Coaster probably.
There we go. Two Hollywood Studios answers. That's what I like to see.
Favorite in each park. Actually.
Okay, let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Rock and Roller Coaster is the one in Hollywood Studios. I like Everest at the Animal Kingdom, Haunted Mansion at Magic Kingdom, and Soaring at Epcot.
So now with those are all brilliant answers. With
Yeah.
that, do you have a least favorite ride in each park?
Oh, in each park, I really don't enjoy the Hall of Presidents.
No, yeah, neither do I.
Very boring.
I don't want to. I'm not American, so I don't know.
Yeah,
if
especially
I do enjoy it, but I really don't. And the land is not my favorite. Also at Epcot.
Yep, another snooze fest.
Oh, that's gonna be rough for my dad to hear. His favorite.
It's a nice relaxer for sure, but
Yeah, and if
kind
it's
of
raining, also it's really nice. But
sorry, Mr.
I wouldn't
Schwartz.
choose it. And in Hollywood Studios, I love it and I hate the Tower of Terror. I have like both feelings for it.
Yeah, mixed feelings. And then also Magic Kingdom. Oh, you said Hall of Presidents. My bad.
Animal Kingdom.
Yeah, and I
Animal
think
Kingdom.
Animal Kingdom. Kilimanjaro Safari. No, Kilimanjaro Safari. No, I love Kilimanjaro. I mean the Kali River Rapids. I hate it.
I hate water rides.
I don't like to get wet.
If I wanted to get wet, I'd take a shower.
Oh, of
So.
course, yeah.
So
I have showers everywhere.
exactly.
You have
I want to
opportunity
go see
to get wet if
dinosaurs.
you want to.
Right.
But
Uh,
my husband loves it, so I always have to go.
right.
And
That's
I always
so
get
cool.
wet and he doesn't. So I think it's karma. Like somewhere he knows I don't like to get wet and I still get wet.
Right. Yep, that's how it works.
So when you're feeling a little hungry, what's your favorite snack to grab at the parks?
The best I think is the Casey's corn dog nuggets. I love them. I can't go to the parks and don't eat those.
And so you say you can't go to the park. You have to go to the parks to eat those. What's a Disney must do?
Besides from taking pictures of everything,
Yeah.
I think bean trading is really fun. And I always go, I don't know if you know this, but if you go to Castle Couture behind the castle in Magic
Mhm.
Kingdom, you
Mhm.
can ask to be showered with pixie dust. Like you don't
Oh,
have to go to
Oh
be
yeah.
plastic. You can go there and they kind of make a spell and they shower you with pixie dust. So it's really fun.
Oh, that's gonna be a lot of
Good for
fun.
little children, but if you go, even if you're a like male, female, they don't care. I did it for my husband also, and we get pixie dust and walk the park with pixie dust.
Hey, everyone needs a little magic, right?
Yeah, and you get
So-
the whole like cast spell over you, so it feels like you had a kind of a blessing, like a magical blessing. I don't know, it's fun.
Oh, that's awesome. Mickey Mouse, I mean not Mickey Mouse. Tinkerbell does her magic on you.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome. So that'll kind of bring it to the end of the podcast. Before we do a little closing statement, of course, I just want to bring up our social media. If you guys are still listening and want to follow us on Instagram, it's at Cast Conversations. We actually have a giveaway going on right now, so make sure you check out our Instagram for a little more information on that. If you want to follow us on Twitter, it's at Cast Convo, and then give us a like on Facebook.
Yeah, and we want to thank Paz for joining us today. We had a great time talking to you.
Yeah, it was really awesome having you.
And me too. Thank you so much, guys.
And then always just make sure you give us a rating on Spotify or on podcast or Facebook, wherever you listen to us. And again, just thank you for joining us, and we're all happy to have you here.
Yes, thank you guys very much.
All right, we'll see you later. Bye.